Here we go. It is time for the grand finals of the SCS number 86. My name is Urs, and this is going to be the Skyborne versus Clan. First off, for the Skyborne, we have the Skyborne. Remind me to talk to Sunstrom about maybe changing his ship name. We have a center Gatling Mobula with 2 Artemis on the lower deck. Banshee on the outer wings. Their ally is the Alpha Mike Foxtrot, piloted by Dark Knight. It is a center Hades Mobula with dual Artemis on the lower deck, flare gun on the far left, and light flak on the far right. Their opponents, Clan, coming in from the loser's bracket. Clan going to have to win 2 games back-to-back, where the Skyborne only have to win 1. We have the Moondog, piloted by Nietzsche's Mustache, Hades Lumberjack Hwacha on the left side, Heavy Carronade Hwacha on the right with a rear flare gun, and Team Rocket, piloted by Spudnik. This is a Junker, sporting dual Banshee on the left side, a front Banshee, and a Gatling light flak on the right side. This Junker can very easily get a triple Banshee trifecta, which can be very suppressive. The Banshee is kind of a low damage weapon, but it fires very quickly, and we have multiple of them all gunning down on a single target. The fire damage adds up very quickly. It can be extremely disruptive to a target, and will also take down their balloon. And once your balloon goes down to a Banshee trifecta, there's pretty much no chance you're ever going to get that balloon back up, because every time you rebuild it, it's just going to immediately catch back on fire and go back down. And the trade-off with that is that, you know, you're doing less damage overall. It takes a little bit for those Banshee shots to really add up. So Team Rocket definitely going to, both Team Rocket and Moondog, I think, going to be looking for a longer engagement. Moondog also has that Lumberjack, so they're going to be trying to knock down their target's balloons. Clan just, they really want to control the fight and grind down their opponent over time. And so both the red ships, like both teams, have kind of moved into the canyons very conservatively. They're still pretty close to their side of the map. They haven't, so we see a little bit of long range fire kind of going through the canyons, which is not something we really see that often. This is actually a nice little spot that blue team set up in. A little enclave at the edge of the canyons. This little half circle of defensive terrain. I think they're just figuring out exactly how they want to pursue this. Both teams can see each other. It's like you're looking at your neighbor across the street, and you know you want to go talk to him about his stupid dog that keeps barking at 3 a.m., but you also kind of don't want to get into an altercation, so you're just trying to figure out a way you can get over there without starting a big scene, and that's what red team's doing right now. We see the Hades dual art coming out, targeting the Team Rocket. Skyborne has dual Artemis as well, so it can support a little bit with some disable and burst fire, but the only long-range piercing weapon is going to be on the Alpha Mike Foxtrot in that Hades. And I think at this range, the Moondog's probably going to slowly pull ahead in this fight with that Lumberjack. As you see, Alpha Mike Foxtrot's balloon has already gone down. Pop and drogue shoot, trying to stay in the air. And during all of this, Skyborne is going to be the one that has to close the distance. You see him kind of leapfrogging to the next point of terrain, setting up a little bit of a closer position here. so that they can utilize the Lesmok Gatling, add a little bit more piercing to their allies' arsenal. And Clan doesn't want any of this. They're just like, see ya. See you guys. They're like, we want the wide open area. We want to take our spawn back. And we're gonna continue to force the Skyborne to come to us. And this is also a similar issue to what we saw on well, I was going to say similar to the issue we saw on with the issue with a map like Water Hazard for the Mobulas, is that on these maps that have very tall vertical terrain pieces, it's difficult for the ships with poor turning, the ships with forward-facing guns, to navigate around. So theoretically, being in the canyons would give the advantage to Clan because Clan has the broadside weapons, so they can sort of sidle back and forth behind the vertical terrain piece. So being out in the open here, I feel like they're definitely giving up that terrain advantage. Clan is. And yeah, now, ooh, then the Galleon's going down. Maybe I should pay attention to what's happening instead of talking about other maps. Because I think in an open air fight, the Mobula definitely has the advantage. We have a gravity-defying flare right here. It's kind of freaking me out, man. Alright, now Team Rocket's going to be moving in. I think he wants to close the distance, try to break up Red Team's formation on the other side of the cliff. But I think he's going to be taking too much damage, and he's going to be forced back out. And now here comes the Galleon. Man, this is what the Mobulas are so good at, is just making it difficult to engage, because the Mobulas, with those forward-facing guns, when you have two of them facing in the same direction, can just immediately put out a huge amount of damage and force the target out of the fight basically as soon as they expose themselves. And this makes it very difficult for Blue Team to engage the enemy together, because they're just constantly being forced back one by one by the extremely strong dual Mobula focus fire. And now here comes some Banshees doing a little bit of balloon damage to the Skyborne. Team Rocket's going to be forced back yet again. And I don't think this little kind of poking up over the cliff is going to work out for Clan. They need to find a different angle to attack from. Frankly, what I would like to see from them, personally, I'd like to see them go east. Maybe try to set up go around this path here, set up a flank on the Mobulas, come from a different angle, but instead they're just going to move into the canyon entrance and assault them more directly. We do have a balloon going down for the Alpha Mike Foxtrot. Drogue shoot, going to keep them in the air long enough to get the armor break with that Hades on the Moondog. Another armor break on the Moondog. Moondog really cannot go down here. Team Rocket, I think, is taking the opportunity to move forward. If they're going to focus, if he says they're going to focus their ally, then you know he can get in close, take advantage of that. Now balloon now going down on the Skyborne. We have an armor break on the Alpha Mike Foxtrot. A lot of Banshees going into it, taking them about 70% damage on the Mike Foxtrot. And the next armor break, I think, is going to do it for the Mobula. And this is exactly the kind of engagement that Clan wants, the kind of longer, more drawn-out fight where they can just start stacking up balloon damage, start stacking up fire damage from the Banshees, balloon damage from the Lumberjacks. And kind of with the balloons constantly going down on the Mobulas, it's going to break up their defensive formation. And now Skyborne, we might not see a second point going in the favor of Clan. I think Skyborne is going to be able to disengage from this fight. Blue team's composition does not have very much speed to it. It can't move around the map very quickly. The Junker has the slowest top speed of all the ships, and the Galleon with the slowest acceleration of all the ships. So it's not particularly easy for them to reposition around the map. And now Alpha Mike Foxtrot has spawned back in. Team Rocket's whole armor is getting very low. Moondog's armor is low as well. And Moondog already very damaged from that last fight. So if the Blue Galleon's whole armor goes down, we will see a very fast kill. And I think Gatling coming out just... Yeah, we do see the armor break on Moondog. But no follow-up. Will we get it with the second armor break? And Moondog bumps against the terrain, but still no burst damage follow-up to finish off the Blue Galleon. Moondog's really been cheating death here. Yeah, and that's finally going down. But it has given the Team Rocket enough time to put some damage on the Alpha Mike Foxtrot. Banshee is going to finish off the Alpha Mike Foxtrot's balloon and whole armor. And now he's going to move in close. Team Rocket going to go for a little bit of a bump on the Skyborne. But I think that Ram going more in the favor of Red Team, as now the Team Rocket's balloon going down, the whole armor going down, their ship going down. And they still would not, like... You know, the Ram is a little bit questionable, but... You know, given the slow speed of the Junker, they probably would not have been able to escape from that fight. Because that is one of the issues with a very slow team composition, is that once you've committed to a fight, you're committed. You're in there for the duration. You know, it's not like a goldfish or a squid, where if the fight's going poorly, you can disengage and kind of sneak out of there. That's not possible for some of these more clunky vessels, like the Galleon, like the Junker. And now with a 3-to-1 lead for Skyborne, they only have to win one more fight and to potentially take this whole tournament. As we see them move back to this cliff that they're so fond of. And maybe this time we'll see Clan going for more of a flank. Now they are rising up. I think they want to try to lob some shots over the cliff here. But the Mobulas don't want anything to do with that. Skyborne's actually repositioning. Backing out farther towards their own spawn. And I think, yeah, here we go. Finally, here, go east, young Galleon. They're going to move up the side of the map here to try to get a closer vantage point. And let's see, based on where Skyborne is, they might spot the Galleon pretty early here. As the Moondog's about to expose themselves to this cloud, you can just barely see them. And we do get a spot in the Skyborne. And here's the Hades coming out, so Blue Team's new position is known, as is Red Team's. They haven't spotted the Alpha Mike Foxtrot just yet, but I'm sure they assume that both the Red Mobulas are together and waiting. And we're not going to have... Blue Team's going to have to get a little bit closer here. We're not... Because of these clouds that kind of roll through this side of the map, it's going to be difficult for either team to get as much consistent damage at that range. And now that they've moved a little bit closer, we also see a flare coming out from the red team, fully illuminating Clan's position. And watch it coming out, hitting the Skyborne, Lumberjack, taking out the Skyborne's balloon. And now Skyborne has been kind of forced out of the fight. It looks like he wants to reposition a little bit, try to maybe find another angle on Clan. Moondog. I think this is the opportunity where Clan needs to stay together and finish off the Alpha Mike Foxtrot. I think Moondog may be considering going after the Skyborne, potentially giving up some fire, but I think they still will be able to finish off the Alpha Mike Foxtrot. Balloon is down, popping drogue shoots, trying to stay in the air. Banshees finishing off the whole armor, finishing off the ship. And now let's see if they can continue to capitalize here and take out the Skyborne as well. They need to knock out the Skyborne's balloon before they're able to escape if they want to get that third point and tie up the match. Because they're very close to red spawn, so we're going to be seeing the Alpha Mike Foxtrot rejoin in pretty short order. Now, unfortunately, okay, I was going to say, unfortunately, they did not have a spot on the Skyborne. And with these clouds now rolling back in, a new wave of clouds is going to make it very difficult for them to pursue this red Mobula. And yeah, I think Skyborne's going to be able to get out of here. Well, is this... Looks like he's going to be taking a stand here. Alpha Mike Foxtrot has spawned back in, but he's a little far out. I don't know if this is the right spot for Skyborne to be picking a fight, losing his whole armor, losing his balloon. Banshee's coming out. Skyborne, I think, going to try to duck underneath the Team Rocket's gun arcs. But Team Rocket's going to move down to pursue. And Light Flak doing quite a bit of damage to the Skyborne. And if Team Rocket plays this right, this should be a third point for... we even have Moondog catching them here at the end. But yeah. Clan now tying up this match. A little bit of a questionable decision from the Skyborne. I don't think that was the point where he wanted to kind of stick his ground and fight, because his ally was way too far back, not able to support. And the Junker is definitely going to win the close-range mobility fight. Junker can very easily strafe around the mob. Let's see. It looks like 3 minutes remaining on our match timer, so it's really all going to come down to this next fight. The game is tied up. It could go either way. Take a sip of water here. Is the Moondog already losing whole armor? I think Moondog, similarly to what we just saw from the Skyboard, getting a little too ahead of himself and exposing himself to... Ooh. Okay, well, this is bad. This is bad for Clan. Moondog just exposing himself a little too early, knowing that the match timer was ticking down, that we only have a few minutes left. And, ooh, no. Yeah. You know, I give props to Clan. They were definitely starting to mount a comeback there near the end of the match, but Skyborne is going to take it 5-3 from the winner's bracket. That means they are your Sunday Community Skirmish number 86 champion.